Here's a question for you guys, and it is a question because I really don't feel strongly about this one way or the other. I don't follow either of these guys as closely as many other people do. So you let me know in the comment section. Is Tommy Fury actually ducking Jake Paul? As in, he's using his name for clout to keep himself relevant, etc., and there's no intention of fighting him? Or is there something else going on here? Because we've got Jake Paul coming out with this video saying that Tommy Fury is making excuses for not signing his end of the contract. He's saying that he can't be in the United States without his dad. And everyone knows that John Fury can't get into the US. That's been the case for many, many years. And of course, Tommy Fury fought in the United States without his dad in the corner before. So why would it be a problem now? These are all the things that Jake Paul is saying in this video. He's saying that he's agreed to everything that Tommy Fury wanted in terms of drug testing, in terms of tampons, I think he said at one point, which is quite funny. So yeah, he says that Tommy Fury's dragging his feet and doesn't really want to fight. Is this actually the case? We know that Tommy Fury pulled out of their originally scheduled bout, was it last year sometime? And when that happens, you say, okay, give the guy the benefit of the doubt in most instances. But if it happens twice against the same opponent in the space of a year, then you've really got to start asking serious questions. So again, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. What's going on here? Is Tommy Fury just clout chasing and using Jake Paul's name to keep himself relevant? Or is this video by Jake Paul just a promotional tool for the fight, which they both know is actually going to happen this time around? Or perhaps there's something else going on behind the scenes. Let's say it's not a case of Tommy Fury not really wanting to fight Jake Paul. Maybe there's some family issue there. I don't know. John Fury can be a very, let's just say, passionate character. And when he sees things a particular way, I guess he can be quite forceful. Is there an element of that coming in here? I remember when Tommy was originally supposed to fight in, well, no, when he did fight in the States. I don't think it was in the run-up to the previously scheduled Jake Paul fight, is when he actually did fight in the States. I remember John Fury in an interview appearing not very happy that Tommy had gone to the United States, I think several weeks before the fight, I think about 2 weeks before the fight. And John Fury wasn't happy about it. He was saying, no, he should finish his camp here in the UK and blah, blah, blah. I'm not happy about what Tommy's done. You know, so John can be that kind of character where he likes to have, I guess, a lot of control over his sons, or at least a certain amount of control over his sons. Now with Tyson, he's able to stand up to his dad. You know, his dad is a very bullish alpha character, and I guess he's been like that with his sons. I remember watching a John Fury BT Sports special where John said that when he came out of prison, Tyson told him that he basically didn't really like him when he was growing up. He found him to be a, you-know-what. He used some type of, derogatory term, swear word or whatever to describe what he thought of John. You know, this is him speaking frankly to his dad after his dad came out of prison. And John Fury says that he told Tyson, well, yeah, I was. You know, I was exactly the a-hole or whatever that you said I was, you know? So anyway, eventually Tyson learned to stand up to his dad and push back. And once he learned to stand up to his dad and push back, then I guess their relationship became easier for Tyson to actually handle. Has Tommy Fury learned to push back with his dad? Maybe his dad's not as forceful with Tommy as he perhaps might have been with Tyson, or, difficult to deal with as Tyson found him earlier in his life. Maybe John has calmed down over the years, not just in terms of getting involved in street fights, but even in his relationships with his sons. It's all speculation. Again, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below about, first and foremost, this Jake Paul Tommy Fury situation. Is the fight going to take place? Does Tommy Fury really want it? Some of you are going to say Jake Paul doesn't really want it. You know, some of you going to say that it's him. Surely the Fury fans, the hardcores, are going to say, yeah, it's really Tommy Fury that's, really Jake Paul that's using Tommy Fury's name. And there are going to be other people on the other side saying it's the opposite way around. I mean, from my vantage point, it seems as though Jake Paul wants to fight. Tommy Fury, I'm not sure about, again, because he did pull out first time and it could have been a genuine injury, but I don't know. I don't know Tommy like that. And at the end of the day, even though Tommy comes from a fighting family, and a lot of the Fury fans are going to use this as their rationale, right? When they're saying that obviously Tommy wants to fight, obviously it's not him causing fights to fall through deliberately, blah, blah, blah. He comes from a fighting family. He's been around boxing all his life. Okay, well, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be good. Just because his brother or his half-brother is world heavyweight champion, that doesn't mean that Tommy is going to have that level of talent or even that level of confidence. Because there are lots of Furies that fought professionally and only Tyson ever went anywhere and had any serious success. Yeah, the rest of the Furies, other than maybe, I guess, moderate success for Hughie Fury, but I'm talking about the brothers here, right? In terms of the brothers that come from John Fury, how many of them have had success? It's only Tyson, right? So don't assume that just because Tommy Fury comes from this fighting family that he's going to have the same level of confidence that they do, or that Tyson does, or the talent, etc. And, with Tommy Fury, he doesn't have that much experience. This guy only had, 12 amateur fights or something like that. So this is not a guy who, like Tyson, had plenty of amateur fights behind him. I'm not saying Tyson had hundreds of amateur fights, but he had a fair few, and he fought internationally and stuff like that, right? Not the case with Tommy Fury. When you have experience, it gives you a different level of confidence in most cases. You see it? So all that stuff that the Fury fans are going to be jumping up and down screaming about, oh, he's from a fighting family and blah, blah, blah. That don't mean nothing to me. There are lots of people who come from fighting families or all kind of different families, and they don't end up like their family members. Yeah? So you can't make them kind of assumptions. It can contribute if someone comes from a fighting family, but at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. And we haven't seen Tommy Fury in a real fight yet. We haven't seen Tommy Fury get matched against someone who is as good as he is yet, or even in the same universe as him yet. And we don't know how good he is, but he's just been fighting journeymen and what have you up until this point. With Jake Paul, he'd be going up against someone who, okay, YouTuber and all this kind of stuff, but he's dedicated his life to boxing. This guy trains with pros, spars with pros. He gets the best of the best in terms of preparation for his contests. This is not like your typical novice who is at college or at school, or they're working a job and they just do boxing 2-3 nights a week for an hour and a half each time. No, this is a guy who can train like a professional. So this is not like your average novice, right? This is someone who's more advanced than that. So yeah, I hope the fight goes ahead. I think it's an interesting one between two novice pros. I think that there's a lot there to suggest that it's a relatively even matchup. So let's hope that all of this is just hype to promote the fight, and that they do put pen to paper and actually step in the ring to square off on August 6th. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Certainly Tommy Fury responded to Jake Paul's video. Forgot to mention that, but here it is. He said, the fight is on August 6th. Forget about all the BS. I don't need anybody to help me lay you flat on the canvas. And all thanks for finally agreeing to the drug test, and you only agreed to it when you realized the fight was at risk. Who needs who? Surely Jake Paul is a much bigger star than Tommy Fury, right? Again, I don't really follow these guys like that, but as far as I'm aware, Jake Paul is in a completely different universe in terms of fame to Tommy Fury. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about all the stuff I've talked about in this video.